The topic for the December 2016 Meetings and Study Guide is Aspects of the Divine Influx from Patrick Lecture 257. The elements of this, the aspects of this, are group consciousness, communication, and exposure. It's also a lovely section on law of brotherhood. I find it interesting that I have had more trouble recording this little 5-minute intro for this topic than most of the others I've been doing all year. And one of the reasons is that when I read the lecture and I study the topic of exposure, the invitation is to open myself up, not just to teach it, but to open myself up. And when I open myself up, I find that my words aren't adequate. I hear the recording and I didn't get it right, I'm using the wrong words, etc. And so I perhaps over-critique it. And I say, oh no, can't say and do that. We need to try and do a better job. What is a better job? I think I am holding some standard of professional slickness, of engagement and entertainment, of high poetry that is ridiculous for a little 5-minute YouTube intro. And what I finally come to the conclusion of is that's a great way to introduce this topic, that trying to be perfect inhibited me from doing the introduction. That exposure means I'm just a person trying to intrigue people to read lectures. That's all I'm really trying to do. And in terms of group consciousness, I'm attempting to connect with the higher self of other people who are looking for information, looking for ways to better express themselves, better understand themselves. And the guide is suggesting if I just go there, if I just try to connect on an honest, one-on-one human level, I'll be far more effective than if I tried to make a nice, slick infomercial for Pathwork. So in terms of group consciousness, there's a higher self out there in everyone. And there's a sense of what's in the highest good for everyone, but we lose track of it. We get lost. In terms of communication, when you try to communicate, if you're overly involved in the words and the phrasing and how you look, then you stop communicating who you are and what you are looking for. So that was group consciousness and communication, and back to exposure. Exposure is about exploring the self. And when I focused too hard on the words, I stopped exploring my connection with this lecture and began trying to work externally. Exposure is an ability to explore the self. My love for these lectures is that they help me explore myself. And my version of Pathwork is that if I explore myself, then I model for others the possibility of exploring themselves. And perhaps you can feel that in that, there's an attempt to connect to the highest self in everyone. Even if people are struggling, even if it's going to take them a while to get there. The little section on law of brotherhood is lovely. The guide says that if you have no love for brotherhood, you have no love for self. It's an interesting idea to explore. In its extreme, and I like to use extreme examples to highlight where we're not clean. In its extreme place, if there's any person on the planet that you truly hate, then that inhibits your love for yourself. It inhibits your love for other people. You can reject someone's actions. You can reject their manifestation. But in the law of brotherhood, it is important to still honor their humanity and to honor their divine spirit, even if it goes off in a direction that is harmful or repugnant. So there's a difference between how they're manifesting and who they basically are. And it goes one step further. and says that if you reject humanity in any form, you cannot unify with God, the creative spirit, higher power, universal consciousness, however you wish to describe the spiritual component of your belief system. That to truly honor spirit, we need to include humanity in its various manifestations as an attempt to try to develop and learn. And in doing so, we open our heart a little bit to the struggles of other people. And in that exposure, we may be able to communicate better. And in the communication, we may be able to develop a higher and better level of group consciousness. It's a wonderful lecture. I hope you are inspired to read it. Take a look at the study guide on the websites. Thanks for listening, and best wishes for 2017.